Buckle your seatbelts. There's going to be a new sheriff in town. So I'll tell Bibi, you smoke the terrorists on your southern border, you go ahead and we're rooting for you. We're going to smoke the terrorists on our own southern border, and that's how I'm going to lead this country. But you would have never been one without actually begging Donald Trump for that endorsement.
And you attacked him in your book a year ago.
Same thing with Chris Christie as a lobbyist, begging them for COVID money for his special interests in New Jersey, prepping him for the debates last time around. These people are now Monday morning quarterbacking some decision he made. I think the real enemy is not Donald Trump. It's not even Joe Biden. It is the deep state that at least Donald Trump attempted to take on. And if you want somebody who's going to speak truth to power, then vote for somebody who's going to speak the truth to you. Why am I the only person on the stage, at least, who can say that January 6th now does look like it was an inside job? That the government lied to us for 20 years about Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11. That the Great Replacement theory is not some grand right-wing conspiracy theory, but a basic statement of the Democratic Party's platform. That the 2020 election was indeed stolen by big tech. That the 2016 election, the one that Trump won for sure, was also one that was stolen from him by the national security establishment that actually put up the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that they knew was false. Only person on the stage who can say these things. That's what it's going to take, not people who are licking his boots one time and now Monday morning quarterbacking and criticizing him when it's convenient. And I think those with foreign policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, she has no idea what the hell the names of those provinces are, but she wants to send our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it. So reject this myth that they've been selling you that somebody had a cup of coffee stint at the UN and then makes $8 million after, has real foreign policy experience. It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blank expression. She doesn't know the names of the provinces that she wants to actually fight for. And there's a couple answers. Nikki Haley's campaign launch video sounded like a woke Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light ad talking about how she would kick in heels. At the first debate, she said that only a woman can get this job done. That's what she said. After the third debate, when I criticized Ronna McDaniel after 5 failed years of leadership of this party and criticized Nikki for her corrupt foreign dealings as a military contractor, she said that I have a woman problem. Nikki, I don't have a woman problem. You have a corruption. And I think that that's what people need to know. Nikki is corrupt. This is a woman who will send your kids to die so she can buy a bigger house.
Can you believe that? Her ad looks like a Dylan Mulvaney advertisement. Oh my God. Oh, that was hilarious. So Ramaswamy cleans the 2023 debate floor with everybody, man. Just cleans them all up. This is the third debate that they had, the very last one for 2023. There's some things that you guys should know about this. This is the highlights of the debate here. It's hilarious how they're sitting up there just completely fighting amongst one another instead of truly debating. They're actually pointing out all their faults, their negative, their wrongs, stuff like that. Mostly, Nikki Haley had, most of the lies there that, she was caught upon. You'll see them through here, about the bathrooms, segregating bathrooms and, sex change operations. And within this, when Ramaswamy held up, you're corrupt, Nikki equals corrupt, most of the television stations went down and lost signal, or they just shut off. They canceled it. They just want to shut them up for a minute. They didn't want to, put that out there in the air, but I found it. So you'll be able to see the full clip coming up here pretty soon on that debate. Chris Christie, he really didn't talk the first hour. He probably only had like 5 minutes of speech in the first hour. They totally overlooked him. I don't know how you can actually overlook a guy that big in the things that he's done. Chris Christie actually was brought in on 9/10 as the, what do you call that, military estate, head of the state. And the month after, 9/11 happened. So go figure how that happened. So I want to let you guys know about all of that. And, Nikki Haley caught in a bunch of lies here. So let's continue this thing here and have fun. This is great. I will be leaving the full video as well. I just edited all the commercials out so you guys can see, a debate in 1 hour and 38 minutes instead of 2 hours. So I'll leave that on the next, download to FB or YouTube.
Swami, for months you campaigned as a unifier. Then you stood up at the first debate and attacked all of your competitors as bought and paid for. The second debate, you changed your tune, saying, these are good people on this stage, admitting you can come across as a bit of a know-it-all and rejecting the practice of personal insults. By debate number 3, you called Nikki Haley corrupt, accused Ron DeSantis of wearing high heels, and told Ambassador Haley she should keep a closer eye on her daughter. Can you see how this has led some to conclude you are not, in fact, a unifier, and to question your authenticity?
Counts. And I did say that there were some good people on that stage in that third debate.
So, Governor DeSantis, I'd like to start with you. You have pledged to send the military to the southern border on day 1 of your administration with orders to shoot, quote, stone cold dead anyone illegally entering with a backpack that you believe contains fentanyl. Critics have called this a shoot first, ask questions later policy that would amount to extrajudicial killing. You are a former military lawyer. Why do you think this idea of yours would be legal?
I am not going to sit there and allow mothers to lose more kids because of fentanyl overdose. I am not going to sit there and let sex trafficking go unabated or human trafficking go unabated. There's going to be a new sheriff in town, and these drug cartels better buckle up.
So I really appreciate that from him. He had a really good speech in there. You can watch it on the full video that I'll put out there for you guys. But he had a really good speech about that. I support him on that, and I also support Ramaswamy as well on his way of looking at it as well.
Just
I'm usually not somebody who gets missed, but okay,
no
let's
joke,
go.
big guy.
3 debates. Ron gets asked a question, and he doesn't answer it. Your question was very specific. You said, would you send American troops as commander-in-chief? And he went on to this minute and 30-second hosanna about his knowledge of the military and what we need to do, and didn't answer your question. This is the problem with the first 3 debates. Ron gets asked a question, and he doesn't answer it. Your question was very specific. You said, would you send American troops as commander-in-chief? And he went on to this minute and 30-second hosanna about his knowledge of the military and what we need to do, and didn't answer your question.
The question was very direct. Is he fit to be president or isn't he? The rest of the speech is interesting, but completely non-responsive. And if we were in a courtroom, they'd strike the answer and say, Governor DeSantis.
No, they wouldn't. They would say that
you're a smart
they would
man.
argue that
No, they would.
No, they wouldn't.
They would
Chris.
strike the answer
No, they wouldn't.
because you're not answering
You
it.
just don't like. You have your thing.
Is he fit or isn't he? No, I don't have my thing. He's the thing. Is he fit or isn't he?
You're
talking about him being 80 years old.
It doesn't mean that somebody couldn't get elected. That's up to the people that
Ron, is he fit or isn't he? Ron, is
I
he
think we have an opportunity to do somebody who is in the prime of their life. We don't have to worry about all this stuff with positive. We can get it done, and we'll do it.
I'm going to come to you. Finish.
Look, Father Time is undefeated. I don't know how he would score on a test, but I know this. We have an opportunity to nominate someone and elect someone for 2 terms who's going to be spitting nails on day 1 and for 8 years deliver you big result. We should not nominate somebody who's almost 80 years old.
Okay. He's afraid to answer.
No, I'm not.
You have to either you're afraid or you're not listening.
No, it's not.
There's a simple
you
question.
Don't want to hear the
Is he fit? Is he fit?
There is no reason to offend somebody. Number 1. And for 2, he's not a doctor. It's not up to him, really. He can't make the decision. He's not a doctor. I mean, it's obvious that Joe Biden's unfit. I mean, God, look at him. Don't even just look at the country. Just look at him. Look at the country. Shoot, there's 2 for 3.
No one can hear you. They can't hear you. You finish, and then you get it back.
All right. Look, I'm a simple guy. Okay? I hear the question and I answer it. Is he fit or isn't he? I'll concede you're fit, Ron. You're a new generation. You're 44 years old. I wish I was still 44 years old. Okay?
45.
So, well, congratulations. I'd still take 45. Is he fit or isn't he? And this is the problem with my three colleagues. They're afraid to offend. And let me tell you
It's great to be here. First I'll tell you, just to respond to Ron, he continues to lie about my record. I actually said his Don't Say Gay bill didn't go far enough because it only talked about gender until the 3rd grade. And I said it shouldn't be done at all, that's for parents to talk about. It shouldn't be talked about with schools.
He didn't respond to the criticism. It wasn't about the Parents' Rights and Education bill. It was about prohibiting sex change operations on minors. They do puberty blockers. These are irreversible. Talk to Chloe Cole. She went through this. Now she's an adult. She's warning against it. She may never be able to have kids again. That is what Nikki Haley opposed. She said the law shouldn't get involved in that. And I just asked you, if you're somebody that's going to be the president of the United States and you can't stand up against child abuse, how are you going to be able to stand up for anything? That is the truth. We have it on video.
I said that if you have to be 18 to get a tattoo, you should have to be 18 to have anything done to change your gender.
You said the law should stay out of it.
I did write that book, Ron, and the irony is Nikki Haley was heaping praise on me when I wrote that book, but now I worry. I was warning about the woke industrial complex in this country as a warning. Apparently she read it as a how-to manual, just like she reads George Orwell's books as well.
Can you please speak to the requirement that you said that every anonymous internet user needs to out themselves? They're both hitting you on it.
I would be happy to, and I love all the attention, fellas. Thank you for that. I'll say this. What I said was that social media companies need to show us their algorithms. I also said there are millions of bots on social media right now. They're foreign, they're Chinese, they're Iranian. I will always fight for freedom of speech for Americans. We do not need freedom of speech for Russians and Iranians and Hamas.
But she wants to take away your freedom. You just heard her. She wants your algorithms. What is CCP doing for it? They know exactly your algorithms and know exactly what they're doing. They're feeding off of all of you by doing this, okay? So I want you to know something about Nikki Haley here. Nikki Haley actually brings up One Road Initiative, CCP. She backs up that. BlackRock, she backs up that. Everybody pay attention on who she is, truthfully, relatives, because it's not good. She backs up the New Green Deal. She backs all of that up. Don't even support this little crummy ass lady. Sorry.
We need social media companies to go and fight back on all of these bots that are happening. That's what I said. As a mom, do I think that social media would be more civil if we went and had people's names next to that? Yes, I do think that, because I think we've got too much cyberbullying. I think we've got child pornography and all of those things. But having said that, I never said government should go and require anyone's name.
False. She said, I want your name. She as President of the United States, her first day in office, she said, one of the first things I'm going to do,
I said we were going to get the millions of bots.
She wants government ID to dox every American.
That's what she said. You can roll the tape. She said, I want your name. And that was going to be one of the first things she did in office. And then she got real serious blowback, and understandably so, because it'd be a massive expansion of government.
She wants to use this on part of your social credit scoring. This is all brings up to your social credit scoring on your CBDC digital currency, right? So this is all part of it working up to that. So please pay attention on who you're voting for out there.
We have anonymous speech. The Federalist Papers were written with anonymous writers. Jay, Madison, and Hamilton, they went under Publius. It's something that's important, and especially given how conservatives have been attacked and they've lost jobs and they've been canceled. You know the regime would use that to weaponize that against our own people.
Okay,
it was a bad idea.
I have to say,
and she stood on up to it. Come on,
I give you 15 seconds, and then the governor, former governor of New
This
Jersey.
cracks me up because Ron is so hypocritical, because he actually went and tried to push a law that would stop anonymous people from talking to the press, and went so far to say bloggers should have to register with the state if they're going to write about elected officials. It was in check your newspaper. It was absolutely there. I have never said government should
trample on your constitutional rights.
You can come back to it later.
This is more dangerous than the Democrats.
And I know Chris disagrees with me, and I think he has an honest position. Nikki disagrees with me. She opposes the bill that we did to ban that. She said law shouldn't get involved with it. You said the law shouldn't get involved with it. She also, I think, and this flows from what she did as governor of South Carolina, they had a bill to try to say that men shouldn't go into girls' bathrooms. And she killed that bill. And she did.
So first of all, Ron has continued to lie because he's losing.
No, it's not a lie.
You are lying.
You said it on tape.
So first of all, I will say that when I was governor, 10 years ago, when the bathroom situation came up, we had maybe a handful of kids that were dealing with an issue. And I said, we don't need to bring government into this, but boys go into boys' bathrooms, girls go into girls' bathrooms, and if anyone else has an issue, they use a private bathroom. Now, 10 years later, we see that this issue has exploded. And this shows how hypocritical Ron continues to be. When he was running for governor and they asked him about that, he said he didn't think bathroom bills were a good use of his time. You can go look that up.
I signed a bathroom bill in Florida, so that's obviously not true.
Yes, he did.
So the idea that you would say that I was against that.
You didn't. You killed it. I signed it. I stood up for little girls. You didn't do it. And there was this going on. I was actually just in South Carolina. Some of the legislators told me at the time there were boys going into the girls. That's the whole reason why they did it.
No.
And so they say when she does that explanation that doesn't hold water. And this is the upstate of South Carolina.
Ron,
I signed the bill. I protected the girl.
Do you know South Carolinians?
She did not do it.
Do you know South Carolinians? Because South Carolinians, no. You are not going to talk about my state like that, because I will tell you for a fact, South Carolinians never allowed that to happen, and we did not have that issue at the time. What I have always said is boys go into a boys' bathroom, girls go into a girls' bathroom. But hold on one second. I also say that biological boys shouldn't be playing in girls' sports, and I will do everything I can to stop that, because it's the women's issue of our time.
This is the problem. Using identity politics more effectively than Kamala Harris is a form of intellectual fraud. And it actually understand there's our donor puppet masters wielding their puppet right up here tonight. This is how this game is played. The puppet masters put up their puppet, and I reject the use of identity politics in this party. It has been a cancer coming from the left, and I'm sick and tired of the double standards the people of this country are too. Having two X chromosomes does not immunize you from criticism.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Governor Haley, would you like to respond?
No. It's not worth my time to respond to him.
You have been using identity politics at every step. She knows it's true, and that's why she's actually...
Mr. Ramaswamy?
I'll use this to just address a topic we didn't talk about tonight, but I think is one of the most important topics that needs to be discussed. That is this climate change agenda that is shackling this country like a set of handcuffs. I said it at the first debate, and I stand by it. The climate change agenda is a hoax because it has nothing to do with the climate. That's what we have to see. 98% reduction in the climate disaster-related deaths in the last century. 8 times as many people are going to die of cold temperatures this year than warm ones. Yet against that backdrop, there's an issue coming up in Iowa. It's core to Iowa farmers. I met Kim Junker, Kathy Stockdale, and other farmers who are about to have a carbon capture pipeline built across their land using eminent domain to do it. That's unconstitutional and it's wrong. And if you thought COVID was bad, what's coming with this climate agenda is far worse. We should not be bending the knee to this new religion. That is what it is. It is a substitute for a modern religion. We are flogging ourselves and losing our modern way of life, bowing to this new god of climate, and that will end on my watch.
Thank you, Ambassador Haley.
That's coming up. Thank you.
There's going to be a new sheriff in town, and these drug cartels better buckle up.
Well, relatives, I'll tell you what, that was something else. From Ramaswamy there at the end. I watched all 3 debates. Ramaswamy is the only person that ever brought that up, that topic about the global warming, climate change narrative bullcrap that they're trying to shove down our throats. That's definitely a plus in my eyes. I don't hear Trump talking about it. And they did do a poll on this at the end on who won this debate. You do know Trump wasn't there, so it was just Nick Haley, Chris Christie, and Swami there. And Trump was MIA. They did invite him, but at the same time, they did a vote on who won this. Well, Trump won it. Trump won it, didn't even have to show up, and they bashed him and they bashed him in here. But like I said, I will leave the full version down below or up above on my Facebook page or YouTube page. It'll be on there of the full debate, the third debate of 2023. But I did cut out all the commercials, so you don't have to watch the commercials. So it's a 2-hour thing. I brought it down to like an hour and 38. My last closing remarks would be, know who you're voting for. Don't just go in there if you're Republican or Democrat and just start like scribbling it off just because you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. That's what gets us in this mess to begin with. That's if you're going to vote. A lot of people feel that way, relatives. What can I say? They're tired of the system. People are waking up. But I'm Jeff Winsett. We'll check you next time on Crestone Podcast and Radio. Till next time.